BAFAI will be addressing issues around food insecurity with smart agriculture, to improving healthcare, education, finance, and urban system. We already know that AI is transformative and it is transforming emerging economies. So at BAFAI, that's Bloom Academy for AI. We are not just teaching AI, we are empowering change makers, and we do this through our courses. We have 2 courses in 2 tracks. Okay, certificate in AI fundamentals, which is our track 1, and it is totally free to take. It holds over 2 days. And in this track 1, we dive into the history, foundation of AI, deep learning, machine learning, using AI responsibly, soft skills you need to know. So basically, it gets you started on the fundamentals of AI. And it is totally free. You can always check the chat for the application details. So we'll always be happy to have you join us. Then we have the second track, which is certificate in AI tax management, which holds for 6 weeks and is a deeper dive, a continuation of whatever we have done, whatever you'll have done in the track 1, in the fundamentals of AI fundamentals. So we'll be happy to have you join us anytime from now. Track 1 is totally free. So you should take advantage of it. That's if you're just hearing about that for the very first time. Okay, so thank you so much for your responses. Our speaker is already in the room. And it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for this fireside chat in the person of Dr. Lola Olukuewu. She's an AI entrepreneur, investor, author, and international speaker with over 20 years of experience in hospitality, real estate, and tech. She's an MIT-trained expert in non-code AI and machine learning. She made history as the first Nigerian female certified chief AI officer by the Copenhagen Institute of Technology. She's passionate about growth and development in developing nations. She now mentors career changers, professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders through BAFAI, and drives global impact by bridging the knowledge and skill gaps in AI. Dr. Lola co-founded Avira. They are the creators of the AI-powered call center system called Audible. And she's the founder and CEO at Topaz Hub, one of Africa's most eco-friendly tech hubs. She also leads several ventures across diverse industries, and she is widely recognized for her leadership in AI safety, governance, and education. It is my pleasure to welcome, with a rounding ovation, let us welcome our speaker for this session, Dr. Lola, who is also the founder and CEO of BAFAI. So can I see excitement? Are we ready? Because Dr. O is ready for us. All right. I'm waiting for our responses. Are we ready? Okay, thank you so much, Rukewe, for your response. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Lola, for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. And you? Good evening, everyone.
I'm doing well.
Or is it good afternoon, wherever you are across the world?
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. So we're talking about exploring business opportunities in the AI industry, and it's a pleasure to have you share
Pleasure to be here.
insight on how we can really plug into the AI wave. Because right now it is not it's a necessity, not a lofty idea or a lofty dream. The AI wave has come to stay, and it's very important that we know how to take advantage of it. So I'm going to ask, I'll just be asking a few questions, and I believe that it's going to pretty much answer questions in the heart of our, participants, our guests here this afternoon about this AI thing itself. How can I position myself, to really plug in? So for someone running a small business or just starting out, where do you see the simplest and most practical ways to use AI today?
Okay, thank you for that question. The first thing I would say really is for you to actually identify how to plug in, you must first understand what are your own pain points? Just to your question that you asked earlier about if there was something our guests would prefer not to do and they would prefer AI to do for them, or that they would want to run away from. If they had the choice, what would it be? And I saw someone had put laundry there. Another put ability for AI to show up at the office instead of her, so different comments. But that just goes to show that everyone has a pain point at every point in time that you're in your career or your business. There's always that thing, that task that just gives you a headache, or that you wish you wouldn't be doing, either because it wastes your time, you spend the whole day doing it, or it gobs a lot of your money or your business funds, or it's just something that you struggle with because maybe it continues to bog you down, because like if you, instead of you having to reach out to your clients or do more productive work, right? So first and foremost, I think is the most important thing is to identify what your pain points are, and then what are those items that that really take up a large chunk of your business funds? What are those items on your list that really take up your funds? Because the idea of AI, artificial intelligence, is number one, to save costs, number two, to save time, and number three, to save energy, to save efforts. That's the major idea behind artificial intelligence, right? So if you now want to identify how it would be relevant to you or how it can work for you, the most important thing you should do is to identify what are the problems you're trying to solve, right? And then after you've done that, you now begin to find creative ways that AI has provided to now begin to match those problems with the solutions AI has provided. And I'll give you a very good example that it has now become even widespread. The use of ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, and Leonardo and the likes. We now have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of career people, who would rather use ChatGPT to, fast track their work. The other day, I
Yeah.
heard the CEO of a global tech company, also mentioning how ChatGPT has tremendously saved her a lot of time when she's having to do appraisals and do reports and send out reports to multiple people. So the most important thing is, what are my pain points? What are the tools available? All these things I'm saying are they are just a chat away. All you need to do is to punch it online. What tools are available for sending out multiple emails? What tools are available, for saving costs in the, maybe let's say you're in the laundry business. So you say, what AI tools are available that can save me cost in the laundry business? So anything that is a major headache in quotes for you in your career right now, there is a tool somewhere or an application or a system somewhere, in artificial intelligence, that is providing a solution to alleviate those pain points. So the most important thing is to first identify your pain points and then begin to match the tools, the systems, and the apps that can help you, alleviate pain points, to your functions. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that. So yes, identify your pain points first and think about the tools that can help you solve those pain points. Thank you so much. That's very insightful. I'm very sure that you are all aware about ChatGPT. There are so many other tools we can at our disposal. If you're not sure, like Dr. O has said, you can always run a search online. You can also ask around. Hey, do you have a tool for this? Is there any tool that I can use for this purpose? So identify where you need help first. That's the practical use of AI. And I can tell you for free, every day, at least 200 new AI tools are being released into the market. There's just a lot of them. Of course, we have some that are really good and we have some that are just, imitations of the good one. But that's just to show you that there's almost an AI tool for almost, every use cases. So there's an AI tool out there. So just find out, make your own research, but first identify how can I use AI to speed up this process? How, like she said, we have these tools to help you save time, save money, and save energy. So what AI tool do I need to use to save time on my work? To save money. AI can actually help you save money as well. I remember doing a project recently with a client that wanted to create video courses. And we had researched so many tools because we know that some of these tools are, some tools are pretty expensive, and the client had a particular budget that it could not overshoot. So we had to keep researching other tools that we could use. So by and large, what could have cost, because initially they wanted to use humans for the project, but when we came up with the budget, it was pretty high. So by the time we looked for an AI alternative to still deliver the same results, we were able to save at least 3 million naira from that project. I mean, it was so shocked. So basically just find out, do your research, okay? So thank you so much, Dr. O. Okay, Vivian. All right, don't worry. We are here to help you. Just, register for our track 1. We'll be happy to share more about tools that you can use to fast track your work, even MailChimp. All right, thank you so much, Dr. O. So that brings me to the next question. Many people think that AI is only for big tech companies. What's a common misconception about AI in business that you often come across? And how would you set that record straight? Because some people feel like AI is not for me, it's for just for some people, big companies.
2 days ago, I was invited to be a guest at the gathering that had the Deputy Mayor of London at Ikoyi here in Lagos. And when we got to the session where we all had to introduce ourselves, what do you do and all of that, and then I mentioned that, I'm an AI educator, I'm also an AI entrepreneur, an AI investor. The first impression that I got from one of the guests was, "Oh, you AI people that are causing that are causing us to have fewer clients," because I think she's in the legal profession, right? And she was like, "Oh, you AI people," and then the other one who was also near her was like, "Yes, the other day my staff, I gave my staff a task to do, and the staff was so lazy that she copied everything verbatim from ChatGPT and could not even edit it." I mean, I don't know whether AI has come really to help our creativity or it has come to actually freeze our brains, and it was so funny to hear them speak about their experiences in that way. And because I think they heard that I do this professionally by just trying to educate people on AI and all that, it was easy for them to share their some of their challenges with me. However, there are basic misconceptions that are there that I hear almost every time, And number one, AI has come to replace human beings. Another misconception, AI has come to kill creativity among the young or upcoming professionals or learners. Another one, AI is expensive and inaccessible to regular people. So many misconceptions are out there. In fact, some people who are also deeply religious have also taken it a notch higher to say, "Oh, AI is the end of the world. We are in the end times," and all of that. And I won't speak to that in this situation, given that I'm trying to keep within the context of the question, which is that the misconception that AI is not for regular people, but for expensive tech companies. And I'll say that is a big misconception, and that is not true. As a matter of fact, if that's the case, then you and I will not have access to Gemini today. We won't have access to ChatGPT. We won't have access to Leonardo, Claude, and all the other AI tools and systems are currently making our lives and our processes easier. So I think the first thing you need to dissociate your mind from is the impression that anyone who is using AI must get some big funds ready to use it professionally. That is not the case. As a matter of fact, right now, just like you said, almost 200, if not more, tools come out on a daily basis,
Yes.
in the AI space. So that means competition is stiff. And that
Yes.
means there are cheaper alternatives, always cheaper alternatives,
Yeah.
to any app that you're seeing out there that is very useful in any profession. There would always be cheaper alternatives. If there is none immediately, there will be one eventually and imminently. Some of the
Yeah.
success stories right now, especially in the healthcare industry, which is where the one I would like to use as an example, is that AI has now become incredibly useful, and effective in diagnosing cancer much more faster than the average oncologist, because it's such an effective system. It picks what the human eye will not pick in a scan, in a diagnosis, and then it's able to immediately alert, the oncologist to say this patient is coming down with this in its tiny trace, so you should treat for this. It would even come up with recommendations. And we're seeing increasingly more lives being saved as a result of this. I can go on and on across multiple industries on how AI is helping. So if we really want to just focus, there is nothing on earth here, right? Um, that we have to interact with that does not have its positive and negative side. Even human
Absolutely.
beings are imperfect because
Yes.
there would always be one flaw or the other in any human. So, how much more machines or the use of machines? So, if we want to really just focus on the negatives that AI has come with, it would be very erroneous to do that because it is already creating a lot of solutions out
Yeah.
there in the different fields that we all enjoy or we all work in. So we shouldn't really just box our minds or cover our minds with certain misconceptions. I think if we're in doubt, the recommended thing to do in this jet age is basically to just punch things in online and just search to get further information.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So you heard that AI is accessible to everyone. Not just do you know why it's accessible? Just like she said, there are also cheaper alternatives to these expensive tools because even the creators are not sleeping. They are trying to outdo one another. That's why we have so many tools released into the market every day, every single day. If you are very familiar with this website, Product Hunt, Product Hunt is always releasing new tech tools, and these tools are AI tools that you can use for different reasons. So it is accessible. It's not only for the big companies. You already heard AI intervention in healthcare. AI intervention in several other industries. It's really transforming lives. So stick to the positive side of it. Not what of course, maybe later on we'll get into AI can be abused, but when you register for our track one, we'll let you know how to use AI responsibly. Because yes, for every good initiative out there, it can also be abused. But we'll talk more about this during our course, our fundamentals in AI, certificate in AI fundamentals, and you can use the link. The link is in the chat to register for that. So thank you so much, Dr. Lola, for that. Now, this is also a very interesting question, especially maybe for those that have not really used AI to explore a business opportunity before. We know that there are chatbots out there. Okay, maybe you visit a website, you are seeing a pop-up saying that, how can I help you? You know, it's a chatbot. It's not a human you're chatting with. That is AI. But beyond chatbots and automation, what are some less obvious but high potential business opportunities in AI that more people should be paying attention to?
That's a very broad topic that we've just delved into, and that is opportunities in AI. So I think the first thing I would say is that just imagine whatever traditional profession that you have now, any profession that you have, you know, I mean, let me see, maybe just by chat, what do you do for a living? Maybe people can just tell us what they do for a living so we have an idea. I want to use some of your professions as examples. What do you do for a living? Put it in the chat box so we can have examples to give. So, whatever industry, while you're doing that, I'm just going to explain briefly that whatever industry you find yourself, right? that traditional industry that you find yourself, there is an artificial intelligence tool, like I said before, that has come to make life better in that space. Now, if you now want to begin to identify or explore opportunities, oh, someone says she's sales in tech, another one says, let me try and read,
Interior designs. And
interior
we have
design,
somebody else, graphic
graphic
design.
designer, right? So, right. So the thing is, you have to understand that in your traditional profession, as we speak right now, you can easily just upskill what you already are, right? To what you can upskill what you already are to the opportunities that are now in artificial intelligence for you to use your profession and be a better person in that profession. And I'll give you a very typical example. We now find that lawyers, right, people in the legal profession are beginning to get into the AI space as AI ethicists. They are becoming consultants, to online programmers, online, researchers, online companies that are really big on, just being in the limelight online. The same thing with healthcare professionals. People in the healthcare industry are beginning to upskill, and now what are they doing? They are moving into using tools that can be installed in, let's say, the oncology departments, sonographers that now know how to use AI tools can build something or find something they can impute into their existing legacy systems. And when I mean legacy systems, I mean traditional systems, your regular machines and all of that. They find the ones that, okay, the machines are upgraded enough to accommodate some artificial intelligence systems to make their functions better. And I'll give you real examples. For instance, now, in the content creation path, if you're like a content creator, you're very good with words, you know how to word things, word documents, and do that, you can become a grant writer. You can now become a grant writer. Grant writing is becoming more popular because more and more companies are looking for opportunities to do to give back. So they are looking for CSR initiatives. You can get companies that do really solid social causes and offer to write them proper grants, help them have the packages, the application packages they need to be well aligned enough to go and get grants. So you can be that AI consultant, for instance, that would help them write the grants, help them build a strategy around what they're doing. And that is just in the content space, right? You can also be a script writer for movies
Yeah,
because now more than ever before, this is the easiest time to write scripts. All you need to do, even with ordinary ChatGPT Gemini, is to generate. But what separates you now, who is willing to become this professional? What is separating you from the regular person out there? Remember the story I shared earlier about the lawyer who had said, the other lady who had said that her staff just did copy and paste from ChatGPT and could not even put in some degree of creativity, into that document. That is what will separate you. The human effect is what will now separate you, who is the ChatGPT user, from the one who is not attentive to details. Okay.
yes.
So you can, in the content space, be a grant writer now. You can be writing scripts for movies, for podcasts. Then membership sites, a lot of membership sites now try to find the words, resumes. I am told there are some sites now where you go and pay a stipend, to have your resume rewritten. These people are using AI, artificial
AI.
intelligence, to do
Yes.
these things,
Yes.
right? So, and they are making money. You and I are subscribed to one or two AI tools at the moment, and we have no option because it is giving so much value. We have no option but to pay every month. We have now put it as part of our overheads. And so now that we have put it as part of our overheads, guess what? Some of us, in the business space, for instance, are now not seeing a great need to have, let's say, 4 graphic designers. We're now saying, oh, you know what, since we have these 2, maybe 2 graphic designers can work. And guess the graphic designers we're picking? Those who know how to use the AI tools.
Yes.
And we're dropping the ones who are still being traditional, trying to use a Photoshop in this type of age, So at the end of the day, you can make money by upskilling your current profession by
Yes.
using AI tools and systems to become
Yes.
better and to become better positioned. That's
Yes.
that's under content. And I move quickly to online event planning, marketing and management. If you're really big and you are very savvy with your laptop, you know how to do all this webinar stuff, Zoom meetings, Google Meet, how to coordinate, you can become an online event planner. Before the accelerated adoption of AI, I used to be an on-site event planner for in the corporate space. So I know what I'm talking about when I say you can be an online event planner. We planned over 200 corporate events and a bit of social events as well. But now the dynamics have changed. Many of our clients have now moved online. They would rather prefer to have webinars than to go spend money, and rent a hotel for their guests, rent a
Yes.
hall, and do
Yes.
all of these things. So why can't you position yourself as, okay, I used to plan events before, but now that most of my clients have moved online, what have you done since they moved online? Have you tried to learn the tools, and have you tried to repackage yourself in such a way that you can go back and represent yourself as an online event planner for them? Because people
Yeah.
who are in the space and are busy, these are busy professionals, they would rather not be the one, for instance, being the admin to the Zoom call, or letting people in. They don't want to be bogged down by those details when they are planning events, because they want to focus on the substance of their events. That's what I've discovered. So you can present yourself as that. Moving on to creative space, for instance, photography, animation, artwork, graphic designs, fashion, YouTube, digital art. There's someone that I know recently who just went online, started even with the free version, started playing around with using generating images. She would just put in prompt, generate images, and then fun art will come out. There was one she sent to me. I don't even know if she's on the call today, but there was one she sent to me that it was a frog on a downfall in Lagos with sunglasses. It was very funny, just seeing that. And this was her just playing around. So imagine having digital art that you can print, frame, and resell to clients that are very art savvy, or just pieces that people can put in a space, maybe playful pieces, serious pieces. You can generate all these things with AI now. All you need to do really is, this is the point, or should I say, this is the season, or the time. We're in a time now where creativity is now being reevaluated. How
Yeah.
are you creative? We want to see how creative you are now that the basics you thought you were so good at, AI has come to do them. So what else are you going to do? Right? So there's so many opportunities. All you need to do is just just ask ChatGPT itself or Gemini to say, oh, career opportunities in blah blah blah, whatever industry you find yourself. If you don't want to change
Yes.
career altogether, you can just upskill in that same industry and become an authority in the niche that you catch, that you carve for yourself. I'll give another example, other education and training, and this one concerns us directly at BAFAI, right? I was telling Moji was it yesterday when we were talking, and when we're just doing the dry run for this, and I was like, if we didn't have artificial intelligence helping us, to curate some of our courses and help us to, speed up some of the things we're doing, right? And we have a full team of very competent people. And with that, AI was still our co-worker that helped us to fast track the launch of Bloom Academy for AI, because it was just helping us generate things that could have bogged us down and delayed us for probably 2, 3, 4 days, and even
Yeah.
a week. And within minutes, within a couple of hours, we generate those content. we now sit down with that content and begin to flesh out the content, put in personal experiences.
Yeah.
We begin to expand it, do further research, but just those basic things we could work with. Artificial intelligence was able to help us generate those things. And
Yeah.
it really saved us time, it saved us effort, it saved us money. And this is the real reason why AI was created. So basically, if you're looking for career opportunities in AI, in any industry whatsoever, I guarantee if you just punch it in online, that is the fastest recommendation I can give you right now. Just punch
Mm.
it online and you will see a long list that will drop down on the things that you can do. And for us at BAFAI, what we are now doing, as on top of that, is to now guide you, handhold you,
Yeah.
using our own experiences and the industry experts that we have connections with to mentor you along that path and guide you with your own hands and everything. You'll be doing everything, but you will just have guidance, to be able to get yourself confidently started in these professions.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for that robust answer. Very insightful. I believe you are learning. Let me see it in the chat. I believe it has been insightful so far. You are getting gems for free. These are gems that should be probably charging $500 for. I'm really serious. Okay, thank you so much, Vivian. So yes, those opportunities are out there, but you have to ask yourself, what's the AI dimension to this? And when she talked about event planning, and honestly, that was just spot on for me because I used to work with an event management company, if I'm one of the top in Nigeria, a few years before the lockdown in 2020. And after then, we know how it changed the dynamics of the event management industry. And I found myself doing webinars from 2021, not because I'd worked in an event company, because I was tilted towards, organizing workshops, seminars, and things like that. Before I knew it, I started getting paid for it. Because some people would just hire me to say, okay, please just help us manage the end-to-end. We don't want to be bugged with the tech side of things. That was an opportunity that I unlocked, okay, using AI. Then recently, I remember that I registered for a remote job fair. Why did I really register for it? I wasn't really particularly job hunting, but it was an exhibition. And I was like, wow, an exhibition online. I'm curious. So I paid for that event. It was organized by somebody far away in one of these countries, not from Nigeria. And I was blown away. I mean, it was an exhibition that was replicated online using one AI tool. And you can go to the next floor to see all the companies exhibiting. You can join seminars, and we're doing all this online. I'm like, my God, this is so brilliant. This is so you don't have to attend a physical exhibition all the time. You can attend exhibitions online, and it was well organized. I kid you not. When it's time for plenary sessions or group sessions, they ring everybody. There's also in the same platform, you can go to the help desk. There's somebody there to answer your question. You can network. There's a section for networking, and I'm like, and it was for 2 days. I was like, oh wow, this is just amazing. And that is an online exhibition. It wasn't Zoom because I can't do an exhibition on Zoom, right? But it was properly planned. It was like an architectural piece. So we're just looking at it. You see the companies exhibiting. It's like you're in a physical space and you're seeing their banners. You can see the number of people in the room. You can see and once you come in, you can see the speaker. You can see what they are presenting. It was just beautiful. So there's just an AI dimension to all this. You just need to find out how. How can I scale what I'm already doing using AI? But you have to be curious so that you can also research because that's what's going to keep you ahead of the curve in career or in business. So but that's why people are always saying, it's like AI has come to take our jobs. No. And she has touched a little on that, but I'd like her to speak more on that. In fact, AI has created new jobs, probably that you've not really taken note of. So I would like you, Dr. O, please, can you just enlighten us more on, new roles that, AI has created, even business opportunities that he has unlocked. But you've spoken a lot on the, opportunities that has unlocked. But what are the roles for people that feel like, okay, what if I want to even pivot or transition into doing something AI? What are the roles that AI has created?
Thank you very much. I'm going to engage all of us right now, just so that you know that this thing is not just something at top of you. above you, right? I want you to, if you can, just punch in to your search bar right now, new roles in AI. And I want to see the comments that you begin to give, because I'm going to read it out. So you will see for yourself what is
Yeah.
happening. So everyone, just type in new roles in AI. If you like, you can put your field there, or you leave it just new roles in AI, and then begin to punch in here in the
Awesome.
chat section the feedback you're getting. I want to read it out to you. Number one, prompt engineer. Can you see someone has put it there? Number two, AI engineer. Keep going, keep going. You will see how how it is very easy to identify all of this. Robotics engineer. Thank you, Lani Sunday. I see you're really model manager. See, someone said call centers became obsolete. That she used to work in a call center, and then it became obsolete. AI ethicists, data scientists, AI policymakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. There are so many roles. It's unbelievable. NLP engineer, AI educator.
That's BAFAI.
Yeah, automation specialists.
Yes.
So many roles.
So
You
you
have
can
no
see for
idea.
yourself.
Computer
Yes.
vision engineer, AI algorithm engineer. There are so many. It's unbelievable. AI governance strategists. Do you know, to be an AI governance strategist, for instance, all you need to do, for instance, is join IAPP. If you Google IAPP, you'll see it is an international organization. It's an association of privacy professionals. You sit with them. They have a huge body of knowledge. You will read and read maybe for a couple of months, do their exams, and then you become an AI governance professional. With that alone on your CV, with your existing role, you've already gradually pivoted, and then before you know it, you get a role in your locality as the AI governance professional. You present yourself as an AI governance professional, and you begin to educate companies on how to stay safe using AI, and how to protect themselves, while presenting themselves as a company that embeds AI in their work. I'm going to keep reading because I see so many. Okay, some other chats have come in.
Yeah. AI auditor, AI tax manager, AI consultants are everywhere now.
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
solution architects, chief AI
So
officer.
you can see, I got you involved in this, in answering this question. So you can see how accessible information is to you and I in this time and age. All you need to do, if you are curious enough, you, you will really scale. And the room is large right now for a lot of people to get in and take possession and take position of whatever they want to be or to do. So there is if you, for instance, if you're very good as an engineer, or you like software, become a prompt engineer. If you're already a software engineer, just do a few courses here and there, put your mind to it, you become a prompt engineer. Prompt engineers are one of the seriously is a well-paying job. They are
Yes.
highly respected individuals right now in
Yes.
the world, because
Yes.
everything you're seeing all these tools use, it's all prompts. And there's
Yes.
someone at the back end who is feeding in this prompt, who is creating prompts and feeding it into this machine, so that when you are at the front end punching things that you want ChatGPT to do for you, they've already done the work, right? The thing will just put two and two together and generate what you need. They are being paid a lot. AI ethicists, all you need to do, especially I see that all the time. A lot of lawyers are going into that. AI consultant, you can be an end-to-end consultant for a company from their conception stage for an idea. You begin to teach them. For instance, you can be their consultant. You train their team,
Yes. Yes.
train them in fundamentals of AI, and then train them how to use the tools that they need in that profession. You train the internal team, and you are their go-to person. The same way now, a lot of companies have auditors that are not daily, they are like consultants. They are on a retainer. So imagine you are on a retainer for 4 or 5 companies as their AI consultant. Do you get what I mean? Like, you're already an AI entrepreneur. So the room is so broad. The opportunities are endless. And I believe that we've effectively all answered the question ourselves.
Yes. Thank you so much. So yeah, you see that the opportunities are endless in AI, and it is not even stopping anytime soon. So that brings me to the next question, Dr. Lola. The speed of AI development is both exciting and overwhelming, as we all can see already, from the responses we had just now from AI, the new roles that AI has created. And I used to tell people that tech skills are great, AI skills are great. But beyond just being talented in the use of, these AI tools, from your perspective, what other skills or mindsets should today's professionals build to stay relevant in an AI-powered economy?
Thank you very much. You see, for us at BAFAI, and you are the program coordinator, so I'm sure you know this, and curating those courses, our head of programs is also here. Curating those courses, we had to sit down and think through how to imbibe some other skills that our people will need, to get this done. Soft skills is there's a huge gap of soft skills. The use of soft skills, or the availability of soft skills
Yes.
among professionals generally globally. It's something that has become a major problem because you find that people are very educated, or they're very knowledgeable, or they're very good at what they do, but they just lack basic skills that help them become more personable, in a work environment, or in amongst their teams. And I'm going to give you examples. Soft skills that are needed in this AI age and to be able to thrive quite well, in the AI industry. Number one will be resilience. If you are not resilient, if you give up easily, you don't like stress, you are not curious, you just want to stick to the bare minimum, it won't be advisable for you to maybe join the AI space right now, because number one, there is a lot of movement going on. Knowledge gets obsolete faster now because the AI space is moving at an unprecedented pace. So what you learned yesterday, if you go back and check today, something has come on top of it.
Yes.
If you check back in 6 months, the whole thing you've learned is probably obsolete, and you need to learn new things as the new wave of what you have just learned. So imagine that kind of speed, and then someone who is not resilient, being in that kind of space, the person will struggle significantly. So the first thing I'll say is, number one, I want to focus on talking about soft skills as the major skills you need to develop to be able to enter anywhere in the AI space, right? So resilience, number one. Number two, adaptability. Is one thing to be resilient, you're not giving up, you're relentless. But if you're not flexible, you would also, the person would also struggle if the person is not the type that is quick, to adapt. So adaptability is so critical because, just like I said, things get obsolete faster than before. So if you are not quick to adapt, or maybe your traditional role is beginning to get threatened, and you're still choosing not to adapt quickly and be proactive in learning what is new and what you need to learn, to move ahead above those, in your career, the person will really, really struggle as well. So I've talked about resilience, I've talked about adaptability. I'm also going to speak about communication. Now we have entered a realm where it will be very questionable if you do not know how to effectively communicate, especially in writing, especially, a typed communication where you're not at least excellent. It will be contested, it will be heavily questioned, because there is all the help you can get online now to be an excellent communicator in your written scripts, in your written reports, and anything that you're presenting. Because ordinary Gemini, for instance, or Claude or ChatGPT, once you put in what you have done, and that is how I would recommend AI to be used. First of all, generate your own intelligence, generate your own creativity, and then you can just tell it to fine tune for you. So once you've put in something, even if you have all the grammar, the tenses, and all of that there, or you didn't quite, it wasn't coherent in the way you put it. Once you've just put that your concept online and you punch it in and say, help me rewrite this, you will see what will come out. It will bring something that, if you thought yours wasn't presentable, it will bring something more presentable to you that you can now further tweak to sound like you, or tweak to make it adaptable to what you are really, really trying to do. But it will help you pick the right tenses and words. So the soft skill in being able to effectively communicate orally, and in a written way, and of course non-verbal. I hope you know there's also non-verbal communication, and that is body language, attitude. If you have the wrong attitude, you struggle in the AI space, because adaptability, resilience already means that positivity and positive attitude is very, very critical, right? So I move quickly to emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and attention to details. Remember, I mentioned also in my earlier example that that boss I met 2 days ago who was complaining about her staff. What did the staff do? Copy and paste directly from ChatGPT. She didn't go through anything. And in this age, it is very, very easy to catch someone who uses ChatGPT, in its raw form. Because
Yes.
number one, ChatGPT is not a human being. So it may sound very flat. It may sound very plastic. It may sound not like you, right? And if you've been working with your boss for a long time, your boss already knows how you sound in your essay, in your report. So if you go
Yeah.
and generate something automatically and you don't go back to rephrase it and put in words that make it humane, right? It will show, right? So that's for attention to detail. Critical thinking means, like I said before, creativity has come to the challenge table now. Everybody's challenging your ability to create outside of AI, because AI in itself has come. And how does AI work? It feeds on data. It has come to gather the knowledge from all these millions of people that have been online for how many years, and then it generates something from their wealth, of knowledge to you. So now the question is, how are you able to think through what it has generated to make it as at least as original as possible to how you would think about it, right? So those are the core skills I want to flag. I've mentioned about 6 in total: resilience, adaptability, ability to communicate effectively, emotional intelligence. Yes, I've not explained that one, but I think you should check it out for want of our time. Emotional intelligence, critical thinking, attention to details.
Thank you so much. So you heard it. For more, just apply for our certificate in AI fundamentals, because we have a whole module on soft skills in AI, and you're going to enjoy it. But really, it's very important. I remember I used to, when I, coach young professionals, like, it's good to be talented. But what makes a balanced professional is a balance of the hard skills, like we're talking about now, AI, and the soft skills. Because talent can get you the job, but it's the soft skills that will keep you there. It's the soft skills that
Yeah.
will move you faster through the ranks. So you cannot be so good technically and you're lacking interpersonally. It doesn't make you a balanced professional. So it has to be married
Mm.
with these soft skills. And soft skills are people skills for short.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah.
communicate, your attention to details, your resilience, critical thinking, okay, emotional intelligence, adaptability. Very important. And more of this in our certificate in AI fundamentals. So if you have your questions, we're open to take 2 or 3 questions. Please drop it on the chat. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, to catch up on everything AI you need to know. So we have a question here, ma'am, from Vivian. She's asking, could you share insights on securing venture capital grants or impact investors focused on AI? Could you share insights on securing venture capital, grants, or impact investors focused on AI?
Okay, thank you. There are a lot of initiatives out there now. A lot of companies are trying to, if you go online and read a lot, you'll see that many big tech companies are beginning to mention Africa more and more. And I'm talking just for Africa. I'm still going to talk about Global South, right? You see them mentioning Africa, or Africa is the next frontier, is the next big thing. We have they have the population, the skills. They are still very rough around the edges. Of course, they put it nicely with better English, like in a respectful manner. But what it basically means is that we're not up to par with knowledge and skills, right, to be able to participate effectively and efficiently as a people in the global tech space, right? So there are a lot of companies like that now looking to Africa, looking to the global south for opportunities to collaborate, to partner, or to get involved in any degree, right? Even to the extent where you are seeing equity-free help coming in now, where they don't even want anything. They just want to be in the conversation with you. They want to be in the conversation with your business. Now, because there is a lot of that, the onus is now on you and I, if we want to be maybe social impact investors, to begin to listen more carefully to what they are trying to offer. Number one, if it aligns with what you do, because you can't just, the same way an investor or a venture capitalist is trying to find a company to invest in, you too should try to find a venture capitalist that is speaking your language or is in your frequency, so that you don't have someone who's coming, and then trying to change the narrative of your vision entirely, right? So once you've been able to identify that, the next thing will be to begin to tailor yourself. It may not take, it may not be something that is immediate, but it will be imminent if you're really, really resilient, right? Begin to tailor your processes, your modus operandi, your company ethos to what will make you attractive. Because the same way you're thinking about needing a venture capitalist to get into your business for impact investments is the same way many others are doing the same. So it has become really competitive in that space as well now, right? So you need to start tailoring your ethos, your vision, and everything to what the venture capitalists you are trying to attract would be attracted to. Then over and above everything, your heart has to be in what you're building. Because if you're really building to just have someone bring in a big box, right, it may not be sustainable they would eventually read between the lines at some point, at the different times they begin to interact with you and your brand. So once your heart is in it to begin to build, I would say again, start from where you are. Just start from where you are. Don't try to go big immediately. Just start from where you are. Begin to build. Begin to gain traction. When you begin to gain traction, you begin to attract the kinds of people that you wish to attract. Because traction is better than just effort without action. If you're just speaking big and there's nothing to show, there really won't be trust enough,
Yes.
to invest. And don't forget, those that have gone ahead of you, it wasn't everyone that gave a palatable, how will I put it? It's not everybody that treated venture capitalists well, in quotes, or treated their funds well. So it has become a situation now where the stakes have been raised to the point where you would need to prove much more to get any venture capitalist, to believe and then invest in your in the impact you're trying to create. So in conclusion, to just make your answer very concise. Number one, start building in the direction of where you want the venture capitalists to notice you. put your heart in what you're building, and don't just build for, just for the sake of you want maybe fame out of it, or you just want to be in the number. Put your heart in what you're building. Number three, start from where you are and begin to gain traction as soon as possible. Not just fluff, but real, tangible traction. And then number four, begin to position yourself by reaching out. When you've reached those, when you've done number 1 to 3, then begin to reach out to these people. And that's where, for instance, someone who chooses maybe from here to become a grant writer, you can get someone like that, to write you a very decent grant that would, be that would make sense, for what you're trying to push out there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Vivian, I believe your question has been answered.
Thank
Putting
you
your
so
heart in
much.
what you do. All right. Thank you. Okay, we have another question here. Which department or area of BAFAI would you like volunteers to work with?
HOP and BPC, program coordinator.
Okay, so please send us an email at hello@bafai.ai. We'll be happy to respond. Thank you.
And thank you for the offer.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this has been a rich and eye-opening conversation. I would like us to thank Dr. Lola for not just sharing her expertise, but her experience, stories that really brought this topic to life. Can we thank her in the comment section with a reaction? Thank you so much, Dr. Lola. And thank you everyone for joining us. Remember, our application is still open for certificate in AI fundamentals. Toby, please repost the link on the chat. And we are still celebrating International AI Day. It's every July, 16th of July every year. And the real takeaway about this is that AI is not just about machines. It's also about people, it's about ideas, it's about bold choices that we make with the tools we have in our hands. Okay, so for everyone here, I believe that this session has given you 1 or 2 sparks so that you can take back to your business or your career. So what's the one thing you have heard today that you act on from here? I would like to read your responses in the chat. So based on this session, what's that one thing that you have heard today that has sparked something in you and you're going to act on from now on? So what are you walking away with? What is your takeaway from this session as we are celebrating the International AI Day, World AI Day? Thank you. Thank you for your responses. So what are you walking away with? What has it sparked in you? What new thing have you heard before? Or maybe you've heard it before, but somehow it has changed your perspective about how you see AI now and what you can do with AI and how to position yourself. Okay, Vivian, thank you. She says to keep learning, unlearning, and relearning. Yes, that's a very good one because learning never ends. Like the popular quote, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. Not physical death. In fact, physical death is the last phase of dying, actually. So yeah, so learning. Thank you. Let's have more responses. I believe you're still typing. Thank you so much, Dr. Lola. Again, please follow us on social media to catch up on everything that we are doing at the Bloom Academy for AI. We'll be very happy to have you in our community, in our space, as we grow together. Okay, Olani Sunday is saying that he has learned I have to be resilient. AI field is not for the average people. New things happen every day. Yes, AI is always evolving every day. To stay ahead of the curve, you have to keep learning, just like Viviana said, unlearning and relearning. Okay, let's keep our responses coming in. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Oladipo is saying, adopt AI in our everyday life. It has come to stay and assist us. Yes, AI has come to stay. Either you love it or you hate it. But if you hate it, it's not to your own advantage. Okay, Adiola is saying the soft skills are as important as the hard skills. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that perspective. The soft skills are as important as the hard skills. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a lovely time with you all. Yes, okay. Olani says that we are going to work with AI as a direct co-worker. Yes, That's one of the bold predictions about AI. AI is already embedded in almost everything we do. Have you ever wondered where you have a conversation with somebody and the next thing you are seeing ads? Maybe you're saying that, I need to change my shoes. The next thing you go on Instagram, you are seeing ads from shoe vendors. And you're wondering, what's going on here? That's AI. That's just it. The conversations everywhere. If you have WhatsApp, you have Google, you're spying on your conversations. That's AI. It's just one conversation you have, but why am I seeing these ads everywhere? Why is it following me everywhere? That is AI. Okay, so thank you so much for being here and happy International AI Day. Thank you so much. And we have come to the end of this session. Please hang around because we're going to be having more insightful sessions like this, as often as you can expect it. And thank you for coming. We'll be in touch. We'll be inviting you for the next one. That is why you have to also follow us on social media so that you can keep up with what is going on at the Bloom Academy for AI. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Dr. Lola. It's been insightful having you. And we hope to have more of you to glean from your wealth of experience when it comes to AI. Thank you so much for coming. And this is where we draw the curtain.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you everyone for joining. It was a wonderful conversation to have.